Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where our messages were given to me thousands of years in advance. Mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions. Okay, my next one is for I feel a gentleman with me who was a fisherman. He loved to fish. He loved to fish on the river and the sea, because I see a rowing boat, and I feel that he liked to use the rowing boat when he fished sometimes as well. And I hear the name Jack with this gentleman, and I sense with him also there may have been some connection in his past with having been a teacher. And there's something not quite right about that when I say that, because I feel as if he could have been the teacher. I don't know whether something happened that he tried to become a teacher and couldn't, but there's something about a teacher sort of connection with him there. He may have ended up on a drawing board, because I'm seeing drawings and plans, and there's a sort of a legal feel with this, so this could be an architect feel with this. So I heard the name Jack with him. I think that's his name, or J name of some sort, but I think that I'm getting that right. And he's talking, the person watching this is female, that's interested in hearing about him, because I feel he would be a grandfather linked to you. A very kind man. He's not a loud man, but he's quite funny in his own way. He's got a gentle, calm sense of humour. I can see with him blue eyes. And I sense with him also that he had a very sweet tooth and used to carry boiled sweets around with him, because I'm seeing boiled sweets around, as if he would carry these around with him as well, something like that. There's something like that. I don't know if that's linked with another link, but I've got something like that with me here. And very practical as well. You could always do a job for someone and finish off a job and sort things out for people. He likes to sort of do things like that. And there's a feeling with him of I can't quite tell where he's from. I can't tell what country I'm in with this. But the beautiful waterways nearby him. This is why I feel he had the boat, because there was waterways and sea you could get to from that. So I feel got multiple rivers next to each other, like a river that's split into multiple rivers. And he says that at the moment you've just done something, a big purchase, and it might be a car or something, a big purchase of some sort has happened in your life, and you've been worrying about money and things like this. And he says not to worry, because it will sort itself out. You've had a big expenditure quite quick, but don't worry, it will sort itself all out in due course. So you haven't gone mad to the point that it's going to go wrong for you. You'd be worrying about it, he says. Anyway, he just wants to come through and give his love from the spirit world, and I feel him. He's trying to give me something like a song or something. Tom, something about Tom. Don't know if that makes sense to you, but there's something like that about the tom tree, or tom. I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me, but I just have to say that, because I think if you will understand this, the person that's listening to this, and please put a message if I've got this right for you, so others can see that these are real readings. Okay, thank you for that one. So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube, so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken
to the letter. And there's been some interesting stories that have developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps Spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time.
Now I've got a lady that's connecting with me here that she passed comfortably. She says she didn't have a long drawn out illness. I mean, I feel that she went to Spirit reasonably quickly without too much suffering, she says to me. But in her life, I feel that she had a real interest in antiques, and she's given me these antiques, particularly vases, which are a little bit over elaborate and a bit loud looking to me, but she says she loved all those type of things. And the person listening to this and receiving this advanced clairvoyance reading is also interested in antiques up to a point, not quite to the level she had, but I feel you've got many of her antiques still. And there was a painting amongst them that was reasonably valuable, and I feel it's already been sold and fetched a decent amount at auction. Though I do have to say that most of her stuff didn't fetch huge amounts of money. She used to collect it more out of interest. And she had, for example, a large collection of thimbles, I feel, and hat pins I'm seeing here. Small things mainly. And the person that's receiving this message, you've just this second after watching this, you've just put a newspaper down. You were reading before you went online to see this here. I think you were reading the newspaper and may have commented about the shocking things you see in the newspaper, just to say that she's around you. And there was also an old doll's house she talks about that was part of that collection, that you may still have that. You put it in the attic. It's not in the home, but I see it in the attic. And she says that I feel you've been worried about your job. You had a change, and that change didn't quite work out. And you're in a job you're not quite sure about at the moment. And I feel I want to say the message from her is give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of time and it'll work out all right. You've got to give it a chance. Because at the moment I feel she's saying to you, not that happy with the people around you. And I do feel she wants to say, don't worry, just give it a chance and it'll all work out and you'll be fine. And yeah, she just wants to give her love to the family. And somewhere in the family there's also a baby being born or about to be born. I feel there's a baby in the background she's talking about here. And there were a few difficulties at first, but thank goodness we're over those now. That's what I want to say. And so she did love children, though I don't think she had any children herself for some reason. So this might be an auntie link for somebody, because I feel that she would have liked to have had more children or children, I think she's saying to me now. Anyway, do take her love, and I feel lots of blessings from her, and she's safe and well in spirit. And the person you that can take this message, I want to say it kind of been a bit new for you, getting these messages from the Spirit. This has been one more of a number that you've had recently, and you should look into it more deeply and maybe explore spiritualism, because I feel you're being drawn to learn a lot more over the next few years about the reality of life after death. Okay, I've got a gentleman with me who fought in the first Iraq war, and he's telling me that he had an injury or some sort, because I'm in the desert and I had an injury from mine because I've lost the bottom part of my leg in this campaign. And there was something about drugs that were given to him while he was in the army that they had to have a long court case over, and eventually he died of something that seemed to have an unusual sort of drug-related background to it. Illegal drugs that had been given to him but had not done his body any good, and I think it gave him heart problems. as I can feel a sudden bump in my heart and chest, like I've been banged in the chest. And it was never resolved. There was a big legal case that was never sorted out, he says. There was a big legal case around him that was never sorted out. And he fought and was patriotic, and I felt had been let down. That's the feeling I get with him. I feel I've been let down. And he had lots of illness, lots of things come. He had other issues too. He says a lot of health issues, including problems with the brain too, because I feel as if he might have had a brain tumour that was operated on as well. So he'd had quite a battle with illness in his life, more so than the battles he had on the battlefield. And yet I feel with him a man that kept quite optimistic. You know, he had a sort of a sense of acceptance of life. You know, a very brave man in that respect, that he had this sort of acceptance of what happened to him in life. And he left behind him, I feel, a wife and 2 children, I want to say, I'm reaching out to here. And he wants them to know he's all right. And the wife might have remarried by now as well, because I feel he's okay with that. You know, but he's grateful of what happened in his life and how people, you know, despite the wrongs that had been done, there were many rights done because people supported him so much. That's what he's saying to me. They supported him so much. And he tells me that even though he was, he had all these problems with things that had been, something that had been given to him and miswronged, they nonetheless buried him in his uniform. After all that, he was buried in a uniform. And so he's just sending his love out. And I'm seeing, he's talking about the 2 children. I think he's trying to show me 2 girls here. And he's talking about, I think, his girls. And I'm seeing them doing very well. And I'm seeing them getting on with education and making quite a good start, considering they had quite difficulties in their earlier life. But the education has seen them through. And I feel him saying, he's looking to all the remaining family to say, you know, he always tried to remain pretty optimistic despite things, how bad they got. And he says, take a leaf out of that, because it's no good making yourself suffer more because of the problems that have been given to you in this world. You know, we have to accept the problems as they are, he says, and you know, and still battle for what's right. Even if we don't win, we still battle for what's right. But it's no good making the suffering worse. So I don't know if there's still some background things with this still in your life. But he's saying he's saying all is well with him. That's what he wants to give his message, that all is well with him, and that he's safe and well there in the spirit world.
So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get. So thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website? Because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29p a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel. And do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved. We've got all sorts of investigations. We've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired. We got lots of readings. You'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today. So there could be another message there for you today.